Right, hi there everybody. So this is me, James Carolan, here at the Waldegrave Clinic, and I've got a fantastic assistant with me, Stephanie, who is a regular in my yoga class and is also a sports massage therapist. Okay, so I've just recently had a request from a chap by the name of Kevin, who's a massage therapist and wanted some more information about how you would approach the rhomboid muscle and more specifically trigger points within in the rhomboids muscle. So for those of you who don't know where the rhomboid muscle is, the rhomboid muscle is on the thoracic spine and just a little bit of the cervical spine as well, just from C7 down to T5, and attaches onto the medial border of the scapula. And its main function is to retract the scapula like so. So it's this movement, and yeah, so he's made a request because he's having a lot of clients that are having problems in that particular area. So before I even go into isolating the rhomboids, to be quite honest with you, the rhomboids themselves are very difficult to access because the trapezius muscle lays just on top of it. So you're not really going to be able to isolate it completely, and ultimately muscles work in groups and not individually to do the same movement. So when you retract the scapula, it's not only the rhomboids, it's also the trapezius on top. So when you're dealing with somebody who's having difficulty or feeling some discomfort when they retract the scapulas this way, you'll also be addressing the trapezius and the rhomboids. So, but the thing is, it doesn't mean that you can't address the rhomboids. So that's really what I'm trying to say. So the way I would approach it is you do like do your regular warm up and then go into more specific points. So I'm going to be approaching this through Thai massage. Then you can work this into your routine. You can adopt and adapt however way you wish. So this is how I'm going to approach it in the Thai fashion. And yeah, just take this information and mix it up the way it works for you in clinic. Okay, so if I could ask you to lie face down, please. So your face here. I'll just get you a pillow. Just get you nice and comfy. There you go. Okay, so this is going to be a very quick warm-up. So I'll just show you how I would start off. I mean, everyone has their own way of starting off their routine. So you'll notice that I'm going through to the feet and working all the way up this way. Because I'm approaching it in the Thai way, you may wish to go straight into the back. Okay, if you can have your arms just by your sides here. Okay, can I have your head just turning to one side, just so you're not going to be extending your neck. Okay, so now for this I'm going to go into more specific points. So I've started off with a bit of palm pressing. And now I'm doing some thumb pressing here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a stretch. So taking the scapula over to the side, like so. So one hand is just on top of the sacrum. The other hand is on the opposite scapula. And I'm going to stretch across. This is more of a general stretch and more of a fascial stretch, but it also gets in a little bit into the rhomboid. So I'm not doing anything too specific just yet. Now I'm going to do a bit more pressing, so palm pressing. Great. And now that I've... You okay then?
Yeah, good.
Okay. All right. So now that I've warmed up the area, I'm going to go into more specific points in the rhomboid area and the trapezius. So for the trapezius, I'm going to locate some points here. So wherever you find the point here, so for any therapist there, you'll be able to find a tender area of the muscle where you feel some thickening in the muscle strands. And okay. Okay. So once you find a particular point, knowing where the striations are of the muscle. So for the rhomboids, they go across. So for this, in this case, if the so this is the spine here, right across. So instead of plucking side to side, you go vertical to get into that point, because you're going to be plucking across the rhomboids, across that muscle there, like so. So for you as an individual therapist, you may want to pluck up and down that way, or there are other people who like to press and hold. So if you find a tender area in the muscle, you can either press and hold like this, or you can ask your client to take a deep breath in. So you take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, sink down a little bit deeper. This is especially a very good technique for if you have a client that's finding this a little bit too uncomfortable, and to be able to apply deep pressure with the client being able to handle it a bit more, to work with the breath, to be able to work with a painful spot. If you're having difficulty with your client managing the discomfort of having a trigger point pressed into. Okay. Okay, so there's another little trigger point there, yeah? Are you feeling that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to do a variety. I'm going to do the plucking method, the press and hold, good. Okay, and then you can incorporate the breathing into this as well. If you'd like to take a deep inhale for me. Good, and exhale. Good, breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, inhale. And exhale, good. That's excellent. Okay, so what I want to do as well here is also include some of the trapezius stretch in there as well. If you'd like to turn around, please, and line your back. So before I start to stretch the trapezius, what I want to do is also do some work on the neck, because the trapezius goes all the way and attaches into the skull as well. So because I haven't done much work on the neck, I'm just going to warm up this area, and also do some pulling as well from the suboccipital muscle just underneath the base of the skull here. And pull. Okay, so I could be spending quite a few minutes just warming up this area, and also warming up into the upper traps here as well. And for those of you that know, who have studied maybe some acupressure as well, start to work into all the various points. So the points that I'm working here is gallbladder 20 up here, and also small intestine 13, which is felt just very near the medial, upper medial border of the scapula. So upper medial point of the scapula. Okay, so in clinic I'd normally do this, cover this with more, spend more time on this area around the neck. Okay, before I start to stretch, but I think for the nature of this video, I'll show you what I'll do next. So, to stretch the trapezius, I'm just going to start to bend the neck forwards, like so. And back. So I can hold that stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. I'm also going to turn the neck to the side at about a 45-degree angle, and then bend the neck forwards, like so. Okay. Then repeat on the other side. And back to center. That's brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to do now is going to stretch the rhomboids. I'm going to start working from quite an interesting position, because when doing a table-based massage, you don't normally see this, but I think it's a very good way to get into the rhomboids and to stretch it. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do, Stephanie, if you'd like to turn around, please, and assume the child's pose. So if you'd like to turn around, sit on your knees with your forehead on the floor. Okay, sit back on the heel. Yeah, that's it, perfect. Okay, so I hope you can see here that the scapulars are spread across, and that also helps to stretch the rhomboids here as well. So you can start to knead into the muscle here, working into the tissues, and also because the rhomboids are stretched in this position, you can also go in a little bit deeper as well into the trigger points as well. So I know some of you are probably thinking, you can't really do this in clinic because what you do is an oil-based massage. But sometimes this is quite a good technique to use if for example you're a sports massage therapist or a Swedish massage therapist, and you've just treated them, you applied the oil on them. You can always leave the room, ask them to get changed, come back, and use this as a finishing movement for the last 5 minutes of the treatment. So once you've thoroughly warmed up the area, and you want to go more into the trigger points, or if you find areas that are a lot more sensitive than the other, and if you need a little bit more work, you can also introduce other tools as well to get in to develop stronger pressure. In this case, I'm using a zubo. Okay, and also when you use a zubo as well, you don't necessarily have to use the points all the time. You can always use the long end of it to go across. So in this case, I'm using the zubo to go across the rhomboid, like so, almost like an effleurage, but going across, like so. So starting from the side of the spinous process, lateral part of the spinous process, and just going across like so. And then from here, in this case I can come with this part and press with my thumbs. And then if I need to use deeper pressure, I can use my zubo. Always remembering just palpating where the spinous process is, so you don't you don't use the tool and press into the bone. Using the press and hold method, or working with the breath if you need to. And you notice here, I'm just finishing off now, just doing something a bit more soothing, using a deep stroking movement, just to finish it off. Okay, if you'd like to slowly sit up for me, please. Okay, well, thanks very much.
Yeah,
thanks very much,
thank you.
Stephanie. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful. So please use this video as something to maybe like add into your toolbox as a therapist. And to maybe give you some extra ideas. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this has been helpful. If there's anything else you'd like me to make a video on, please do. Please do get in touch. My number is 07593 108 702. My web address is www.maxstrengthholistics.co.uk. Please do get in touch, make an inquiry, whether it's to do with tutorials, whether it's to do with yoga, or whether you want to just book in a massage. Please do get in touch. So until next time, I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now and stay safe, stay healthy. Yeah, see you next time. Take care now. Bye.